Financial expert and New York Times bestseller Ramit Sethi converses with Bartlett, sharing his uncommonly nuanced perspective on personal finance, the language of money, and the importance of defining what a rich life means on an individual level. Sethi advocates for a holistic perspective on wealth that steps beyond numbers on a spreadsheet. He emphasizes that money and psychology are intertwined, and that a rich life is not just about amassing wealth, but about aligning your finances with your personal values and dreams. He insists on spending extravagantly on things you love, as long as you cut costs mercilessly on things you don't. The duo critically discuss 4 key factors that Sethi advises tracking: fixed costs, savings, investments, and guilt-free spending. Sethi encourages people to spend 50 to 60% of their take-home pay on fixed costs, rent, groceries, debt payments, save about 5 to 10% for emergency funds or large purchases, create wealth by investing 5 to 10% of take-home pay, and dedicate 20 to 35% of take-home pay to guilt-free spending on things that bring joy. Despite the commonly held belief that home ownership is a significant marker of success, Sethi argues that this may not always be the best financial decision. He points out the significant pressures of society and cultural notions of status that subtly influence our spending and investment decisions. The financial commitment of owning a house, he asserts, might actually hinder people from investing in experiences or priorities that genuinely contribute to their happiness. Sethi nudges people to question the deeply ingrained beliefs and myths about money that could be hindering them from achieving their rich life. For example, the notion that higher earnings can eliminate spending problems is debunked by the fact that around 25% of people earning over $100,000 annually are still living paycheck to paycheck. They touch on the prioritization of intrinsic versus extrinsic motivations in spending choices. Unpacking the driving forces behind big purchase decisions can reveal whether they are truly enhancing one's life or simply serving to impress others. This introspective exploration can help ensure that such decisions are conscious, informed, and aligned with one's authentic rich life vision. Sethi proposes that everyone could benefit from defining their rich life more explicitly. Most people, he claims, have only vague conceptions of what they want their life to look like, often boiling down to general aspirations for freedom and flexibility. By gaining clarity about their specific desires and goals, whether it's traveling to particular places, enjoying certain comforts, or supporting treasured causes, people can shape their financial strategies more effectively and enjoy the benefits of a life that is rich in more than just monetary terms. Venturing beyond his holistic perspective on personal finance, Ramit Sethi illuminates the common belief that purchasing a home is the most viable investment, citing the American dream as a subtle influence. He critiques this conception by underlining the overlooked cost analysis of buying a house, citing examples such as a home grandma bought in the 1970s in Austin, Texas for $100,000 and sold for $1 million years later. Many perceive grandma's investment as highly profitable. However, Sethi calls attention to all the underlying costs such as maintenance, inflation, opportunity cost, interest, and other phantom charges she had to bear throughout those years, berating such investment as a simplistic approach to the most significant purchase of a lifetime. Ramit observes how such ownership can potentially hinder lifestyle flexibility. Selling a house often involves massive transaction costs that most prospective buyers don't anticipate, making selling a house far more strenuous than selling off a car. The entailed complications suggest renting as a better alternative financially and lifestyle-wise, particularly for those unsure of their residential stability for the next decade. Sethi points out an essential but neglected aspect of buying a house, placing emphasis on geographical factors. Surrounding yourself geographically can yield massive advantages, especially for young graduates about to embark on their career path. However, an unthoughtful house purchase can make it difficult to exploit this advantage since it imposes a location lock, complicating a possible move to a bigger city for better opportunities. He uses this argument to back his stance that a house purchase should only be made after some due diligence and calculation to ensure that the decision is, indeed, a profitable investment. A final, counterintuitive point Sethi makes relates to how paying more does not guarantee better results when it comes to money and investments. As opposed to a sushi meal where paying more offers fresher ingredients and a more premium dining experience, spending more on investments results in worse returns. Sethi endorses investing as a successful tool for amassing wealth, even for those under 40, recommending utilizing something as simple as a low-cost target date fund. He clarifies that a fund is like a pie chart automatically diversified with bonds and stocks, allowing all age groups to start their investment journey. This stimulating discourse sparks a thought process against the tradition of buying a house as the ultimate marker of financial success, encouraging due diligence in understanding numbers, calculations, and the subtle influences when making financial decisions. Delving yet deeper into the mechanics of investing, both host Stephen Bartlett and guest Ramit Sethi highlight the ease of beginning one's wealth-building journey. Sethi emphasizes that the investment habit is akin to brushing teeth, recommending that investments be ideally set up to automatically draw from your checking account. By doing this, Sethi proposes that even a modest amount invested every month and combined with compounding can accumulate substantial wealth over many years, a method to get rich rather than being rich to start investing. Commenting on the miscomprehension of investment accounts as interchangeable with checking accounts, Sethi delves into account structure. He advises his listeners to automate money flows from checking accounts to sub-savings accounts for specific goals, investment accounts for compounding, and some for guilt-free spending. Taking a few weeks to establish this structure means never having to worry about transfer over time. When challenged by Bartlett to prove the path to financial wealth through long-term investments in funds, Sethi refers to historical data of the stock market indicating a 7-8% per year return post-inflation. To illustrate these points, Sethi walks Bartlett through a compound interest calculator, demonstrating that a modest investment from a young age can accrue into millions by the time of retirement. Sethi references Warren Buffett's investment approach, pointing out that over 99% of Buffett's wealth was accumulated after the age of 60 due to compound interest. Conversely, he outlines the attributes of individuals on the path to poverty, with their overwhelmed and anxious relationship with money coupled with a lack of investment strategy. Exploring the relationship of the wealthy and money, Sethi cites data indicating that even those earning significant amounts can still live paycheck to paycheck. However, 83% of millionaires, as per research done by the US Trust, stated their largest gains resulted from small wins over time rather than impulsive risks. Ramit Sethi gives practical advice on how to increase income and build wealth, irrespective of one's current occupation. From the everyday bus driver to a personal trainer, he proposes setting up aggressive automatic investing and exerting effort to increase income as the two major steps towards financial growth. Sethi presents a detailed model for a personal trainer to double their income. He recommends steps such as asking the right questions to the client, packaging up additional services such as meal planning, creating group sessions, and strategizing ways to retain clients longer. Sethi emphasizes using these strategies to increase revenue and boosting profit while making the most out of each hour spent. Stephen Bartlett builds on Sethi's advice, suggesting individuals seek out markets where their skills are scarce and hence more valuable. He shares how applying his skills in the biotech industry yielded a considerably higher return compared to his work in social media marketing. Bartlett encourages individuals to consider the scarcity and value of their skill sets within their chosen markets and realign if there are more lucrative opportunities elsewhere. Sethi alludes to the idea of discontinuous jumps, where one achieves leaps in income or investment returns rather than incremental increases. He explains, while these jumps might require significant changes in business, in investments, time is the predominant factor. Discussing if investing in cryptocurrency is a smart move, Sethi recommends only investing a small portion of a well-diversified portfolio, 1-5%, in high-risk options like crypto, emphasizing the importance of risk management and a long-term perspective in financial decisions. Sethi and Bartlett also point out how people are more likely to share their financial successes, but rarely talk about their losses, contributing to a skewed perception of wealth and investment strategies. The portion of the dialogue around Ramit Sethi's 10 money rules offers invaluable strategies for thriving financially. He discusses these key principles, which touch upon aspects of saving, spending, investing, and relating with money that directly impact lifestyle and long-term wealth creation. Rule 1 centers on accumulating an emergency fund equivalent to a year's worth of expenses kept in a savings account and accessible at any time. The second rule prescribes saving 10% and investing 20% of gross annual income. Demonstrating a preference for conscious spending, Sethi advocates for paying cash for large expenses like engagement rings or holidays and saving for these expenditures well in advance. Sethi also promotes prioritizing education, health, and experiences over material possessions. The essence of rules 4, 5, and 7 is to spend on books, health, charity, and personal improvement without restrictions. Rule 6 highlights the importance of buying quality items and retaining them for as long as possible, while Rule 8 encourages earning enough to work only with people one respects and likes. He underlines the significance of spending time outside spreadsheets in Rule 9, emphasizing that the richness of life is experienced beyond the figures and the need for incessant optimizations. Finally, Rule 10, marry the right person, underscores marriage as the most critical financial and relational decision one can make in life, due to its significant influence on lifestyle, spending, and overall decision-making. It highlights the importance of having open conversations about finances within relationships and the necessity for both partners to have an understanding of their financial situations. These rules are tailored from Sethi's perspective and experiences, but they offer an insight into key principles of financial discipline, planning, spending, and investing. This lengthy conversation with host Stephen Bartlett and guest Ramit Sethi delves into emotional and societal aspects of money and finance. Sethi displays vulnerability when he details his trepidation about discussing a prenuptial agreement with his now wife, underscoring that money isn't just about spreadsheets and figures, but deeply rooted in the themes of security and human relationships. The discussion reminds us that money holds different meanings for different individuals, which impact how they perceive and relate with it. For Sethi, money signifies growth and potential, drawn from compound interest charts and finance principles, while his wife sees money as a safety net that provides a sense of security. These differing perceptions highlight how backgrounds, beliefs, and personal experiences heavily influence our financial perspectives and behaviors. Sethi's conversation with his wife about a prenup led to deeper money conversations exposing their contrasting views, a common scenario in relationships that Sethi aims to bring to light. He stresses the importance of such conversations, even if they lead to conflict, as they shed light on insecurities and implicit biases rooted in past experiences. In addition, Sethi underscores the role our upbringing plays in our financial behaviors. Phrases like "we can't afford it" or "money doesn't grow on trees," often repeated during childhood, can influence our spending habits and financial choices in adulthood. Similarly, the discussion about a prenuptial agreement provides an insightful look into dealing with potential financial disagreements in relationships. Sethi noticed that couples might face frictions when there's a disparity in their value systems, especially regarding sensitive topics like prenups. The conversation later shifts to the differences Sethi has noticed in gender attitudes towards money. Men are often more aggressive with their investments, while women are generally more conservative, prioritizing security and safety. However, he stresses that there are several other lenses through which people perceive finance, including socioeconomic status and upbringing. Later, Sethi and Bartlett discuss character traits in people that indicate their potential to create a rich life. Sethi points out that people successful in multiple domains tend to be good in various aspects of life, showing discipline, organization, and social skills. He also identifies character traits that could inhibit someone from living a rich life: being surrounded by negative influences, impulsiveness, and lack of personal financial vision. Stephen Bartlett and Ramit Sethi dig deeper into the concept of financial freedom in their podcast, shedding light on the emotional significance and personal aspects of money. Sethi stresses the importance of defining what a rich life looks like to each individual. According to him, it's not about blindly stashing money away. It involves comprehending the intimate details of how you envision your life. Sethi illustrates this with examples about everyday spending habits and how money can solve certain problems we might frown upon, like doing laundry or hauling luggage. By thoroughly understanding what activities bring us joy, which ones we'd rather avoid, and using money as a tool to balance these, we can truly design our rich life. As opposed to a one-size-fits-all approach, he believes that each person's path to financial wellness requires ongoing personal introspection and strategizing. Adding to that, the duo discuss Sethi's newly launched journal, I Will Teach You to Be Rich. In his journal, Sethi guides readers through exercises where they envisage their dream life and how money can help attain it. Through this process, he desires to change people's tense and scarce perception of money, encouraging them to dream bigger. The conversation moves towards financial education, with Bartlett emphasizing the need for financial literacy from an early age. He refers to Sethi as a new finance guru, considering the latter's significant contributions to financial education. Bartlett believes that learning about money management can establish a foundation for freedom of choice in life, thus crafting one's unique, rich life. Sethi also provides practical advice on investment, dealing with debt, insurance, and car leases in his updated book. Through simple, no-fuss guidance, he endeavors to empower people to take control of their financial destiny. Both Bartlett and Sethi agree on the importance of sparking more conversations about money, emphasizing that these insights provide a practical roadmap to improve our relationship with finance and enable us to unlock the future we dream of. These discussions resist misleading influences that paint unhelpful and unrealistic pictures of money, wealth, and aspirations. Check out the full podcast by clicking the link in the description below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for listening to this podcast summary episode of The Pod Slice.